Are trivia and wisdom the same thing? Well, that depends. It depends on what Fluval thinks, because Fluval is the font of all wisdom and trivia.
Is so much more important than wisdom. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
that's what I thought. It depends on what Fluval thinks, because Fluval is the font of all wisdom and trivia.
Is so much more important than wisdom. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
that's what I thought. It depends on what Fluval thinks, because Fluval is the font of all wisdom and trivia.
Is so much more important than wisdom. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
that's what I thought. And trivia,
is so much more important than wisdom.
And trivia,
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 so much more important than wisdom. Crystals aren't just pretty things that you can adorn your lonely, pathetic little abodes with. They're actually mildly magical, but still far less magical than me.
Non-Tang is a wolf-like creature, Sturm beasts are large buffalo-like creatures, and Tolkien is an intelligent whale-like creature on Pandora. The mighty Akron will bond with one Na'vi in their lifetime, and it is unknown whether the Banshee or its rider can bond with a new partner should the previous one die.
You know Smarter Child?
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
You know Smarter Child?
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
You know Smarter Child?
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
You know Smarter Child?
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
Andy Multiverse is a Welsh actor and author from Mumbles, South Wales. And he played Watto. He was the voice of Watto. He's from Mumbles.
Yeah, like be a real doctor. Like a doctor of philosophy or something like that.
Be a doctor of film studies.
Yeah.
And study my work, because I've shaped all of Hollywood. Excelsior!
That's true, Fluval.
Stereo.
Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome
Stereo. That's the real one.
Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Triviamaster Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not so. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia.
Ah!
The only trivia show in any dimension where the points do matter and losing will cost you everything. I'm Fluval, Grand Triviamaster of the Grand Aquarium Empire. And with me as always is Intern Krypto. I'm a Batman here to celebrate my fellow hero and world's finest, Superman.
I think he's your super friend.
He
also.
is a super friend.
He's a super friend.
And they're both the world's finest, Batman and Superman, Dawn of Justice.
This is true. Batvolt versus Super Flooves.
Super Flooves.
It's the bet.
Super Flooves would win.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Intern Kristie. Hello. Welcome.
And I'm mild-mannered reporter, Fluve Kent.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
I love that
Yeah.
that you look like Chris Gethard in those glasses.
Yes, I work for a major metropolitan
Fluve
newspaper.
Kent. Incredible. I love this.
Nice try, small bowl.
Oh.
Well, you can join our game of Superman trivia. Yes, River Cuomo. Ugh. Yeah, never mind. You can join us at crowd.live by going to crowd.live, I should say.
Oh.
And entering the code F8HKM, which Wiz says is flying, eightfold resilience, heart, kindness, and might. Superman's powers.
Oh, see, I didn't really read
Yeah.
that when I highlighted it earlier, so
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you came back to it and pointed out that it was a good joke. Thank you, Fluval.
Well, it was a good joke.
I was just like, words!
Yes,
Words!
yes,
Highlight
yes,
them!
yes, yes,
Highlight
yes,
them
yes,
quickly!
yes.
Fluval.
What?
Okay, so,
What's up?
who is your favorite Superman villain? Because, you know, the Bat villains...
Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick.
Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick,
Yeah,
we love
I relate
this.
I relate to a tricksy multidimensional being who comes to Earth to cause suffering for lowly humans.
I do love that.
I love a Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick. And I mean, if you saw My Adventures with Superman, that Mitchell-Pitlick's wonderful.
Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick.
Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick.
Yeah. Oh,
shit.
He's been banished.
You got, oh wow, Wiz got rid of him already.
He's been banished.
Well, while he was here, he looked a little something like this. Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick,
Ah.
sometimes called Mixie,
Mixie.
is a character who appears in American comic books published by DC Comics. He's usually a trickster in a classic mythological sense. And he has reality warping powers, which he uses to torment Superman.
Gilbert Gottfried?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is Gilbert Gottfried. Mixia's Pitlick.
Mixia's Pitlick.
Mitchell-Pitlick.
Hey. Hey.
Back again by popular demand to plague Superman, the imp of imps, Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick.
Yeah, I like how Soup's like,
Oh no!
Oh no!
I like
What am I
Bizarro.
gonna
Me hates
do?
Bizarro. Or Azib.
That will not work on Bizarro because Bizarro can't spell. Oh, Bizarro is definitely one of my favorites.
Yes, this is the Superman the Animated Series version, not virgin. He
Should I
probably
be boring and say that I like Lex Luthor?
Lex Luthor's a good pick. Who's your favorite Luthor?
Ooh, I mean the one from Smallville.
Thomas Lennon was also Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick
In what?
in Supergirl's 100th episode.
Oh, he was a lot cuter, like
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah, and they used to say Mrs. Pitlick.
Who does fuck canonically?
He does,
That
yeah,
is true. Wait, Mitchell-Pitlick or Smallville's Lex Luthor?
Both.
Because they both do fuck canonically.
Yeah.
He, in fact, fucks Lana Lang
Yeah, he has a hot Mixie.
after she becomes an adult. But he knew her when they were in high school, and he was older than them.
Wasn't he in high school?
No, he was aged. He didn't go to high school in Smallville. So I assumed when in my child self watching
Right.
this, assumed he must have already graduated from college. So I was like, why is this adult like hanging out with this 16-year-old? And that was like part of why, like,
I mean, he is a villain. Well, he's not so clearly a villain in that one, I guess.
no. Hack Geneman.
Oh yeah, like Gene Hackman.
Yes.
Uh,
Lenny Luthor just got here. We're talking about the possible age
Yes.
of Lex Luthor in
And
Smallville.
one thing I think is funny is
The CW
this isn't a
is
spoiler,
Smallville.
but in the new Superman movie, it's Luthor Corp, not Lex
Love that.
Corp,
Oh.
because James Gunn was like, "Who names their company after their first name? That doesn't make sense." And the idea being that it would also probably be a family business that he like.
I do like that.
Well, because LexCorp and Luthor Corp are both in Smallville as two different companies.
Yes,
Yeah.
because Lex's dad was the first evil guy, and then
Right.
he became not evil.
Lionel Luthor.
Lionel Luthor, but he had so traumatized his poor young son
Yeah.
that it was too late by that point. And then he got with Superman's mom.
Lionel did.
Lionel fucked
Yeah,
her
he
mom.
fucked Ma Kent.
He also looked like a lion.
Yeah, you know what I think also probably happened?
What?
They were having sex and he said,
Yeah.
Martha! And then Batman ran in
marries
and
her.
said, why did you say that name?
He marries Lana, I think, after she turns 18. Well, first he buys her favorite coffee shop for her to run.
Yeah, I know, he does marry her.
Making him her landlord. And then they date.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, they get married. And also,
everything is just super above board.
also
is what
Lana
I'm
used to manage
saying.
ISIS.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lana manages ISIS.
Yeah. Lana, what?
She manages ISIS on Smallville.
Oh, like before
The ISIS Foundation,
Okay.
a non-profit devoted to helping meteor-infected metahumans.
I see. Well, because you see, her parents were killed in the meteor shower.
Yeah, Laura Lang and Henry Small. And then she was adopted by Nell Potter.
Wait, so she kept her mom's last name?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Her legal father was Louis Lang,
Oh,
but he wasn't the biological father.
I see.
Because the wife, her mom got pregnant when they were separated.
Fluval, how old was Lex supposed to be? Because
What?
if he was supposed to be a super genius who graduated from college early,
Sure.
then he could have been 19 years old, which meant that he was 19 and Superman was 16, which is way more normal for like a friendship.
Right.
But yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. He's 6 years older. He is 41 years old.
Yes.
He graduated college, but did he graduate early? Princeton with a batch in biochemical engineering in less
batch?
than 4 years. Taking a break from his graduate studies when he went to Smallville. And he tried to kill himself, and Superman saved him.
And he stopped a hate crime.
He stopped a hate crime.
Yeah, in Smallville. At the age of 17, Lex intervened in a race-motivated attack on a couple at a beach, protecting them from the skinheads who wished to do them harm.
Because you see, he had the
Yeah.
skinnest of heads.
When the police arrived, Lex was wrongly thought to be the perpetrator of the attack due to his hair condition, thus forcing him to spend 24 hours in jail.
Wow, so I was right. He
Yeah.
was the skinnest of heads
Yeah.
came into it.
Lionel Luthor and a group of lawyers from Metropolis soon
You
flew
never
in to
know.
spring Lex from lockup, with the police chief issuing a live statement on TV apologizing for Lex's treatment.
So he was 21 when Soups was 16. Okay, well that makes
22, but yeah.
it's a little weird because he knew both Soups
Yeah.
and Lana their entire like teenhood. But like were he to have met her as an adult, the age difference would not have been a big deal. But
Apparently,
he didn't.
did you know there's a whole comic?
And he bought her job for her.
There's a whole comic that continues the story of Smallville.
Yeah, the meteors are what makes Lex bald. And it really fucks up his dad. And he had red hair before that. He was a ginger.
Which is canon. Lex is a redhead.
I really, really liked
No, Lex,
Smallville, you
Lex
guys.
is canonically a redhead.
Smallville was extremely important to me growing up. I watched until, like, the season where they went to Metropolis. I think I stopped watching, like, the season after when they went to Metropolis.
I forgot his ending in Smallville.
What's his ending?
He gets his mind wiped.
What?
That Lex arrives at Luthor Corp and confronts Tess, revealing that he knew she was his sister all along, and the fact
Who the fuck is Tess?
his secret sibling. And then he stabs her and kills her.
Oh no!
And he had rubbed Summer Holt's neurotoxin on his face, which interferes with his memories. And then she tells him that he has 30 seconds until his memories are wiped, and so Lex forgets everything that happened throughout his life in Smallville.
Aww. Nintendo 64 game.
And that's when he makes
Injustice.
LexCorp. And this is them meeting in the comic. We were friends when I was younger. Surprised you remembered that, given your condition.
Ooh.
Only what I've been able to cobble together from press clippings here and there. Because there's season 11, which is a whole comic continuation of...
I see.
all of this with an actual, like, Superman.
Well, unlike
Not the
Superman,
blur. Not the blur.
I have, and you, Fluval, I unfortunately have biological needs, so I am going to get up and get myself some water.
Superman has biological needs.
Does he?
He needs the yellow sun
He does need
to get his powers. He's specifically fueled by his biological need. Oh yeah, and they got the Superman loses his powers or gives up his powers and retires to a farm.
Superman?
In the show, yeah.
Well, what happens to Lex?
He becomes.
Does he also give up his powers and retire?
Well, Lex doesn't
to a
have
farm?
powers.
His power of being a billionaire.
No, he doesn't give up his money.
But does he also retire to
No.
a farm? Do they get together on the farm?
No, he's married to
they
Lois.
should kiss.
He's married to Lois and has children.
But she dies.
No. Lois doesn't die.
She didn't die?
No.
Lana
dies.
Wait.
Lois doesn't
Lex
die.
married Lois?
No, Lex married Lana. No, Superman married Lois and retired to a farm.
And then Lex became the president.
Yeah, as he does in all realities.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reacher was Aquaman.
Oh
Yeah. Superman marries Lois Griffin. Mm-hmm. Oh, they rebooted the universe in Smallville
Remember
season
when
11.
they just disappeared Superman's black friend?
In Smallville, well, there's a reason for that, but in Smallville
Why?
season 11, Superman they just reboot the entire universe.
No, wait, why'd they disappear his black friend?
He went to jail.
Oh no! What is the deal with Superman's friends
Pete
on
Ross.
fucking Smallville? He had okay, but was it like a bad sex tape? They did. They kicked by a horse, thrown from a helicopter. Does Freakazoid show up? I hope nothing happened to Chloe.
Yeah, Sam Jones the third. He left the show and then he eventually comes back.
But
reason for
why?
departure. Behind the scenes, he demanded. Wait. Oh no, that's the reason for Pete. No. I could have sworn there was more to it than that.
So why did he leave? You have to read that to me, Fluval.
Well, no, I'm going-
I couldn't see that. It was too small in your mind palace.
No, I know. I'm going to another source in my mind palace.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think that one's specific enough.
Jones
there we
was
go.
convicted of conspiracy to possess illegal drugs with the intent to distribute.
Yeah.
Bullshit. He pled guilty and was put in a year in fucking jail.
Yeah, and 3 years probation.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. And he did also have a sex tape with his girlfriend that leaked.
Okay, but this all seems like super normal shit. He's not allowed to have drugs. What drugs? What drug could he possibly have with an intent to distribute that would morally justify putting him in jail?
Red K. He was going to distribute red kryptonite.
Yeah, he didn't even have them.
Yeah.
He didn't even have them.
No. He appeared with Allison Mack, Chloe Sullivan, in an episode of The Nightmare Room on Kids WB.
I feel like they were just like, they didn't like that Superman had a black friend. And they're like,
I mean, this was W, so that could easily... No, it was Obama. It was
That's
Obama.
so fucked up, though.
That was Obama.
That is so fucked up, though.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah! Yeah! The Allison Mack shit, which was
Yeah.
super not fucking
It was
normal.
super unusual. And if you want to play Superman trivia, you can go to crowd.live. That's true. Kristen Crook did introduce Allison Mack to Nexium. You can play trivia
that's a lot
against
of Oxy.
Duperman, Superman in a bread bowl, Mrs. Mitzel-Pitlick,
Oh, well,
Blog
yeah, because
L,
it was
the last son of a Krypton, Jimmy Olsen Walk Run, Mr. Matty-Pitlick, more like Pooperman, Red Sun, like read a book, and more like Pooperman.
Well, pleading guilty doesn't mean you're guilty. Yeah, pleading guilty doesn't mean you're guilty. And Oxy, you know, it's not the most fun of drugs. But then again, doctors were handing those shits out.
That's true.
Like fucking candy at that time.
It was 2009 when he went to jail.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Yeah, like...
We were 4 years out from Revenge of the Sith, 11 years... No.
Oxy by proxy?
6 years still away from The Force Awakens.
What's Oxy by proxy? Is that a thing, or is that just a really fun way to say things?
Let him hang.
Oh, God. According to Jones, it was his close
I know,
childhood
Oxy
friend
is-
who was the drug dealer and
Yeah.
in debt from the drug cartel.
Oh, shit.
Aww.
That's really sad.
Aww. I mean, when you have to get someone on conspiracy to obtain and sell drugs, it's like otherwise you would just get him on selling drugs.
Yeah, it's sad if it's real, exactly.
I believe it.
Yeah.
He was a really nice guy on Smallville.
And Fritz Lang's Metropolis is also playing our game of Superman trivia.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, it is a crime. Are you arguing it's not a crime to try to source 10,000 oxy pills from a drug cartel? That is super a crime.
I mean,
That is super a crime.
I guess.
I might not. Maybe
He
you
didn't
think
get them.
Well, maybe you think it shouldn't be a crime, but it is a crime. I'm not saying I care, but it's not. But it is a crime, and you know,
Legalize
Look.
all crime.
look,
okay?
Twitch wouldn't want you to do that. I'll tell you that. Twitch says don't do that.
Gucci
I say
gang.
probably don't do that.
Not if it's for charity.
No, that's still a
Okay.
crime. Still a crime. But you know what's not a crime?
Not if you're fucking rich and a doctor. He clearly wasn't rich enough.
He also wasn't a doctor enough.
If he was white, that would not have happened.
Oh, sure. Are you saying...
Oh, really?
Well, no. Right. Oh,
Fluval
You're right.
says relax.
you're right. Because you're saying... What you're saying is it should be legal.
Yeah.
And you cannot advocate for things while they are crimes. That is the funniest loophole I've ever heard. Our
Yeah,
game of
crimes
trivia should be...
Superman would overlook.
Oh, for sure. Especially early Superman, who was,
Right?
like, threatening to kill corrupt senators and stuff.
Right?
And when he like, beat up that guy who beat his wife in early Superman...
Oh, yeah.
He just, like, early Superman's my favorite Superman because he's willing to let the real evildoers have what for. Because he was written in the response to the Depression, you know?
In 46.
Yeah.
When he took all that off.
I know that Grant Morrison tried.
See, Superman was trying to
Yeah.
get the drugs off the street, so he took
Yeah.
all of the drugs, and because he's super, they didn't kill him.
I have super tolerance, Jimmy. They, I know Grant Morrison tried to sort of bring back a more ground level Superman when he had his t-shirt Superman.
I agree also, Missy.
And then t-shirt Superman lost his powers and joined Hood Slam, the Oakland wrestling thing. Do you know about that arc for Superman?
No? Oh, yes.
Where Superman joined Hood
yes.
Slam after losing his powers?
Yeah, you told me about
And then
that.
original Superman came over from another universe. But it only him. I think they eventually rebooted everything again because DC does that.
But now it's time for a Crisis on Infinite Trivias, and you can still join by going to crowd.live and entering the code F8HKM. But we're going to get it underway.
Yeah, remember when there were 2 Supermen?
Yeah, Superman Red and Superman Blue. Yeah, Superman is actually always very explicitly anti-racist, which is great, even in the 60s. Not always. He did fight some Japanese caricatures. In the 1980s, which of these was sold under the Superman brand? Bread, French fries, hot cocoa, or peanut butter? Which of these was sold under the Superman brand? Bread, French fries, hot cocoa, or peanut butter? This is returning. This is a returning question. No, I know the diversity poster's real, but the 40s
show us
happened.
the diversity. Is that the one of like the really hot Soviet guy and the really hot Chinese guy? Like
no, it's the one with Superman.
Oh,
you're right. Superman isn't racist. Just the people who drew his comics were. You're right. That is actually accurate. Superman didn't draw it. Yes, this is a returning question from DC Trivia. Yes, well, you must have missed that episode. It's why you have to watch every single week right here on Grand Trivia.
Or else.
Now let's see what you picked. 4 of you said bread, 1 of you said French fries, 1 of you said hot cocoa, and 4 of you said peanut butter. What do you think is the answer, intern?
I think it's hot cocoa, but I think it's bread. I think it's bread, because he's, like, super American and boring.
The correct answer is...
Oh.
All of them... It takes a while for it to go out sometimes. The correct answer is all of them but bread.
Oh, no!
But... Okay, so the question is...
I got it so wrong!
You did it for a very annoying reason.
Tell me. Tell me.
So they did sell Superman bread, but not in the 80s.
When did they sell Superman bread?
Well, we're going to take a look. It was the 40s, but we're going to take a look at all of them.
I like how wrong I got it, and I was definitely here.
Oh, yes,
we
you
also
were here.
do know that I could be here, and I could forget what we saw 5 minutes ago.
So Superman Peanut Butter was a brand of peanut butter that was sold in stores when Super Friends was on. Ooh. At last, a peanut butter you can look up to.
At last.
And these were all to promote Super Friends and the Superpowers toy series. And there was a very funny ad for this.
Fluval!
The commercials. I hear the commercials. Perfect.
Superman isn't boring, but the way they use him in ads is...
Superman's not boring. Did I say Superman was boring?
No, I said he was boring.
What?
Because the way that they use him in ads is... They
anyway.
Just slapped him on everything because America.
I disappeared you.
Oh.
For your horrible statement.
Oh, I've been disappeared.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm back. This isn't like ice. Fluval doesn't just disappear people.
Only interns.
So, we'll get your mother later and go to the movies.
Dad, we forgot
Fluval.
Yes.
Can we buy Superman peanut butter?
Our brand's fine, honey.
Have you ever tasted Superman peanut butter? Its strength is its great taste.
I like the idea that Superman takes time out of solving crimes to just harass people in the parking lot. Why aren't you buying my peanut butter?
Does he solve
Good housekeeping
crimes?
seal. Must
I mean,
be good.
yeah.
It tastes terrific.
Superman peanut butter.
I
Its
suppose I
strength-
never
Did they
thought
cut him
about
off?
him as a
Superman.
detective.
It did taste terrific.
Well, he's a journalist.
I suppose.
Yeah, he solved... Batman's not the only one who solves crimes.
Well, I mean, he clearly, like, you know, does something about crimes. He does most of his crime solving as a journalist.
You know,
You need to watch Lois and Clark. I heard that was a rom-com.
Yeah, it's the rom-com series from the 90s.
I hate rom-coms. I refuse.
Lex Luthor has Superman trapped. He's using kryptonite.
She's also
Yeah,
a
I feel
full-time
like
journalist.
he just works with his friends on it.
Peanut butter tastes so great. Never. So fresh.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Like, he just, like, hears the crime
That
and,
solves
like, does
crimes.
something about it.
That's solving the crime.
I suppose.
Spoiled again. Just wait.
I don't know. Rom-coms have tricked me before.
No, Superman and Lois isn't Lois and Clark.
I watched that.
Those are two different
Terrible.
shows.
Oh.
Superman and Lois is the latest CW show where Superman and Lois are parents to two twins.
Oh.
And it's like a Superman dealing with being a father. Lois and
cute.
Clark: The New Adventures of Superman is the rom-com.
Well, I hate rom-coms.
And this is the diversity poster from the 1950s. And remember, boys and girls, your school, like our country, is made up of Americans of many different races, religions, and national origins. So,
Holy Elvis's sweat.
if you hear anybody talk against a schoolmate or anyone else because of his religion, race, or national origin, don't wait. Tell him that kind of talk is un-American. So if you see J.D. Vance, tell him his talk is un-American.
I mean...
Because he's out here being like, well, actually, what makes you American isn't just believing in American values. It's just being a white person. I mean, yeah, it is, look. It is ultimately still a message from the 1950s. It's about as good as one as you're going to get from the 1950s, but it's
And it's a fair cry better than what J.D. Vance is saying.
Yeah.
And this, the year 2025.
Oh, back in the 50s, they ruined Superman by making him woke. I can't believe that illegal immigrant superhero is woke. Ugh.
I really do have a question, but I don't know if it's going to be one of your questions, Fluval.
You can private chat it.
Okay.
Here's Superman bread.
Ooh.
Join the Superman Junior Defense League of America. Yeah, the face of a simmering Civil War II over Jim Crow. It's pretty good. Exactly. But Superman bread wasn't only around in the 40s. It was also around in the 60s, where it was power packed and a new concept in bread quality.
Wow.
That's not a question, so we can talk about it.
Oh, yeah, like that time that Lois did blackface to prove or
and here we go. There was also
racism.
Superman orange flavored drink.
What she proved is that everyone's racist, especially and including the black people.
Yeah, it was a comic where Lois had a scientific device that turned her black for a day.
Yep.
So that she could investigate what it's like being black and how it's hard.
Yeah, and it turns out it is hard. But some black people are racist against white people, too.
No, it was on superdickory.com.
Yeah.
But Super Dickory's down now.
Oh, no!
Yeah, I'm sure it's on archive.org, but Super Dickory's down.
Oh, is King Arthur Markets the same as King Arthur Baking?
Probably.
You could just, she could have just asked, but...
Looks like it is.
But...
I mean,
Yeah.
It also is so clearly a comic book writer read Black Like Me. I was like, we should just do that.
We should just do that.
We should just do that problematic book.
We should just do that.
Well-intentioned.
Horrible bullshit.
But horrible. Yeah. I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, well, white folks then use their power of white flight without needing their Legion of Superheroes rings. It is a very good thing that writer didn't watch Soul Man.
Woo!
It's also a good thing that writer didn't see our leaderboard. Yeah, I think it is.
I am curious.
But I don't know what that is.
Is that Yellowface? Oh, a weird non-fictional Bart with MLK.
It's a erotic drama.
Oh. With MLK?
Yeah.
That is really weird.
I guess. The MLK part is not erotic. I figured.
I didn't.
I did.
One of the things when they were teaching us media literacy in elementary school, they brought us to a website that said all sorts of really gross, strange, erotic things about MLK and then showed us how it was a Nazi website.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But I was like, okay, we're like in 5th grade.
The film includes an interview with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. filmed in March 1966.
Wild indeed. It was, I mean, it was smart. It was smart to show us, like, this is how you look at a website to find out if Nazis
Yeah, so it's an erotic movie
but, like...
about a director who wants to make a social film starring his lover. But the film also just includes an interview with Martin Luther King Jr., filmed in 1966 when King was visiting Stockholm, along with Harry Belafonte,
And cuts his own penis off.
with a view to starting a new initiative for Swedish support of African Americans. Oh, cool.
Wonderful.
Oh, it also has an interview with the Swedish Minister of Transportation, who talks about the class structure. 'Cause, they were told it was for a documentary.
Superman made a social comic starring his lover.
That's true, in a way.
In a way.
Well, he didn't make it.
That's true!
He's just in it.
Bill Finger.
Oh, God.
Finger? I hardly know her.
Well, and then, of course, Siegel did erotic art of Superman.
That is true. But that is because he could
Schuster.
only draw one person.
Schuster did erotic art of Superman and Lois because, yeah, he could only draw one person, so...
You know.
He did...
Are you going to show us, Flu?
No. No, I'm not.
Were you going to show us until I said,
I was thinking about it.
fuck you, Maddie?
But they cover...
Fuck
It was
you.
it was in a book called Secret Identity, the fetish art of Superman's co-creator, Joe Shuster.
What's the name of the movie again?
I Am Curious
I am
Yellow.
curious. Yellow.
And USA Today's review of the book is, Jeepers, Mr. Kent.
They both looked like naked poets with huge tats. Yeah, didn't you realize that Superman and all those early things had huge titties?
They had huge Kryptonian cans.
Huge cans.
Well, you could also draw Lex Luthor.
Well, and you see, what they were just waiting for Wiz to be alive so that he could figure out what the bra size was.
That's
for
true.
The huge Kryptonian cans.
That's true. So Mixes Mitzi Pitlick is in first place. More like Pooperman in second. Duperman in third. Superman in a bread bowl in fourth.
Mana mana.
The last son... No, Mana.
Mana,
The last
mana.
son of a Krypton in fifth. Red Sun in sixth.
Mana,
More like
mana.
Pooperman in seventh.
It's
Old
a
Racist
very
Superman
tight
comic in
deal.
8th. Really, we're all Superman if you think about it in 9th. Blogtoven backwards in 10th. Mr. Matixopitlik in 11th. Blogel in 12th. Jimmy Olsen Rock Run in 13th. And Fritz Lang's Metropolis in 14th. Oh, I'm sure they will, Fuloof, as we go to question
Superman.
number 2. True or false, the Superman radio show exposed the rituals of the Ku Klux Klan, which caused their membership to decline. Is that true or is that false?
I really like that gif.
It's a great GIF. There's a lot of great Super Friends GIFs on Giphy. Do you know the answer to this question, Intern?
Oh, I know the answer to this question.
Okay, Intern Krypto.
You know, I mean, Superman, you're right. He was a good journalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do... Yeah.
He's showing Batman why they call him Superman. He has a super gag reflex. Oh. Ew. Ew. I like that you found that funny.
I did. Because whenever people talk about Superman's powers, I think about how on Seinfeld, Jerry and George have a fight because Superman insists Superman must be super funny as well, because if he has...
Superman insists
No,
this?
Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
Jerry,
You
did I say
said
Superman?
Superman, yeah.
Jerry insists Superman must be super funny. Because if he has all these powers, he also clearly has a super sense of humor.
Well, a super sense of humor doesn't mean that you are good at joke telling, just
Right.
that you're really good at appreciating jokes.
But he's clearly a good actor. I mean,
Clearly.
you know.
But I like the idea that he's like, well, he doesn't
Yeah.
have a super sense of humor because he doesn't find my jokes funny.
I like the idea that Superman becomes a comedy columnist at the Daily Planet.
What's an electric lint remover? Good evening, CD Breakfast.
You know?
Good evening.
Like, what if he became a comedy columnist because he has a super sense of humor?
What if he became a gossip columnist because
Do you think
he
he'd
could
make-
hear all the gossip?
Do you think he'd make more money as a stripper or a gossip columnist? That's a shout out to Maddie is Talking's game show streams, which watched the Newlywed Game last night, and that was one of the questions. Would your wife say? Would your wife think you would think she'd make more money as a stripper, a gossip columnist,
or a clown?
or a clown?
And we were thinking, I was thinking,
Yeah.
I would probably make more money as a clown because you can be a kid's birthday clown.
Exactly.
and make a lot
Yeah.
of money. Being a stripper is like being an
Yeah.
athlete with customer service duties,
And
which is a lot.
Intern Forrest was thinking, well, this is the 90s or 80s, so gossip column newspapers are still big business. So in that time period, probably gossip columnist over the others.
Yeah. That is exactly what I'm sure happens.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's true.
Dave Barry. Ooh. Oh, yes. I know about those. They fucking rule.
Oh, yeah. But you know what else rules? This question. So let's see what you picked.
You can be a stripper.
All of you
clown.
said true, and in fact, all of you are correct. The correct answer is true.
Yeah.
In 1946, an activist named Stetson Kennedy infiltrated white supremacist groups, including the KKK, and then contacted the producers of the Adventures of Superman radio series and proposed doing an episode where the last son of Krypton faced off against the KKK. They agreed and created a series of episodes called Clan of the Fiery Cross, which was later adapted into the 2019 limited series Superman Smashes the Klan.
Ooh.
Where you get moments like this.
Oh, I love
Where
that.
Superman helps an Asian girl who immigrated to Metropolis feel more comfortable.
By murdering the clan.
Yeah.
That would make me feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Stetson Kennedy? You're not sure about Stetson Kennedy?
Stetson.
Stetson Kennedy.
Wait, Stetson
Like the
Kennedy
hat.
is his full name?
That's his name.
But Stetson Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the Clan of the Fiery Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, and they bond. It's limited. It's very good, and they bond about being immigrants. Absolutely. This
I
is
love
Stetson
that.
Kennedy, who infiltrated
Look
the
at
Klan and exposed its
Stetson.
secrets to authorities and the outside world.
I love this.
And he led to Georgia revoking the Klan's national corporate charter.
We love this. Hero. Big hero. Big hero energy.
Big hero energy. That's what Superman has, and
That
you can
is.
too. If look in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's our leaderboard. More like Pooperman has taken a single leap into first place because it's not late enough for them to be able to fly yet. Mixes Mitsapitlik in second, Duperman in third, the last son of a Krypton in fourth, and Red Sun in fifth. More like Pooperman gained the most points on that question, gaining 934 because they answered the fastest.
I see.
And the quicker you answer, the higher you score. And yeah, Stetson was dressed like the Justice Society Sandman.
I want you to all know that there is a very cute studio cat here that none of you can see.
Suffer! Continue suffering by not seeing the studio cat as we go to question number 3. Which of these is one of the 4 imposter supermen who replaced Kal-El when he died at the hands of
Ooh.
Doomsday? Is that Cyborg Superman, Eradicator, Steel, or Superboy? Also, a bonus fact fractal, Kryptonite was introduced on the Adventures of Superman radio show as a way to allow Bud Collyer, who voiced Superman, to take a break. Because the Man of Steel would spend the next episode incapacitated and voiced by a substitute grunter.
Grunter?
Yes. Now, which of these is one of the 4 imposter Supermen?
Oh, well, you see, I'm a
Replaced
substitute
Kal-El.
grunter.
Yeah.
Um,
You know the answer to this question?
which one of these 4?
Which one of these is one of the 4 imposter Supermen who replaced Kal-El when he died at the
Yes.
hands of Doomsday?
Yes.
I hesitated, fearing a trick, says Wizworld Live. What do you think the answer is?
Well, I know that one of them is Cyborg Superman.
Okay. Hank Henshaw,
And I know that one of them is Steel,
John Henry Irons.
which makes me think that they are all real.
Well, let's see what everyone picked. That would be funny if they had if these were all legacy characters and there had been enough of them that weren't the ones in that arc. Would be very funny as a tricksy answer. But 3 of you said Cyborg Superman, 2 of you said Eradicator, 4 said Steel, 2 said Superboy, and you're all correct.
Ah!
They all arose in the Reign of the Supermen arc. Hank Henshaw, and they all, interestingly, embody one of Superman's nicknames.
Ooh.
Because Hank Henshaw is the cyborg Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Over time, he becomes a villain and aligns himself with other groups, including the Sinestro Corps. And yeah, they're also all still around. Absolutely.
Ooh.
And then, one of Superman's other nicknames is the last son of Krypton, who was Eradicator, which is an ancient Kryptonian weapon that controls a duplicate of Superman's body that is made of pure energy and who sacrifices himself to restore the true Superman's powers after he gets out of his healing matrix.
Okay.
And is depowered in his cool black suit.
That is a very cool black suit.
No, this isn't the black suit. This is Eradicator. This is the Kryptonian weapon that sacrifices itself.
Well,
himself.
it also has a cool suit.
See, this is what he looked like in Reign of the Supermen.
I
Yes.
like that you can't really see, like, his arms. Like, I like
Yeah.
how odd he looks.
He has Kryptonian battle armor. Oh yeah, and he has to wear his goggles because his sight is so good.
Is she big, like, big French girlfriend?
He has to block out visible light
Oh.
because the sun hurt his eyes without his goggles.
Oh.
Now this is John Henry Irons Steel, who of course was the Man of Steel. And he tried to fill the loss felt by Metropolis when Superman died by taking on the Man of Steel persona with his high-tech suit of armor, and then he took on the name of Steel when Superman returns. And of course, Shaq played Steel in the movie.
Oh.
And John Henry Irons has been both a weapons designer and a steel worker. And in the Reign of the Supermen arc, his neighbor, who was a psychic named Rosie Kratz, believed that Superman's soul had returned in his body. So she believed that John Henry Irons really was Superman. And Lois
Steel.
Lois, I think, also says that she thinks he's the one who comes closest to being like in the
real
spirit of the original
Superman.
Superman.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's also Kal-El, Superboy, who is the Metropolis Kid, which they say is a nickname Superman's known by, but feels like one they invented just for the 90s version of the Superboy character, who looked like this.
The Metropolis Kid. So the same, but with a leather jacket?
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
he has Superman's powers, but is brash and cocky, and he also trademarks the Superman, the S in the story, to try to stop the others from using it.
That's very funny.
Yeah, and he's eventually revealed to be a clone of a clone blending the DNA of Lex Luthor and Superman. He did turn into a very cool character. He was also in the DC versus Marvel crossover where he fought Spider-Man and lost.
Oh, he lost to Spidey?
Yeah.
How'd he lose to Spidey?
He was like flying at Spidey, and Spidey sprayed him with shot webbing at him.
Uh-huh.
And so he then hit like a big electric generator and it knocked him out.
Oh.
And really it's because it was a vote.
Oh.
And so it was decided by popular vote. So the writers had to justify, oh shit, how does Spider-Man, who is also Ben Reilly Spider-Man at the time, it's weird to have done that crossover in such an ephemeral era in comics.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's not Spider-Man, that's Scarlet Spider. Yeah, and he was an amalgam. They became Spider-Boy.
Spider-Boy.
Oh, no, yeah, and Spider-Boy was Pete Ross. Just like Clark's friend who disappeared was Pete Ross.
Yeah, they were all votes post Jason Todd.
See, this was Pete Ross. And he was an attempt by Project Cadmus to create an adult clone of Super Soldier, which was Superman and Captain America.
Oh, okay.
With the ability to control gravity was sabotaged.
Yeah, he got the leather jacket.
The geneticist and cloning researcher Peter Parker was killed during the accidental lab explosion caused by Kenny Gargan, who is a blend of Scorpion and Conduit, or Scorpicon.
Kenny Gargan sounds like Walton Goggins.
And so the clone woke up too early, and he was adopted by Uncle Jen, who is General Thunderbolt Ross, who adopted him.
Okay.
And then Uncle Jen was killed by a mugger. So Pete swore he would face danger and make himself the center of attention so criminals would focus on him and not innocent people, as he felt he had been dismissed as just a boy during the incident. Inspired by his spider-like ability to walk on walls, he fashioned a costume and called himself Spider-Boy. He later returns to Project Cadmus and is given a web shooter, a special pistol that fires strands of webbing. And he fought villains including King Lizard, who's Lizard and King Shark.
King Lizard and the
Gizzard Wizard?
Gizzard Wizard?
Bizarnage, who's Bizarro and Carnage.
Ooh.
Venom Stinger, Arachno, who's Bizarro and Kane.
He was bitten by a radioactive comics publisher.
And Recluse is Spider Side and Match. So he fought multiple Bizarro versions of himself, essentially. And then his biggest challenge was getting on a blind date with the Insect Queen, who's Mary Jane crossed over with Insect Queen. No, not Kane and Parasite, which is an interesting choice.
Wait, so Mary Jane crossed over with the Insect Queen and is just called the Insect Queen?
Well, because she didn't have a superhero name then.
Okay.
Now she's Jackpot.
Oh.
She's a superhero called Jackpot.
Huh.
And according to Spider-Boy 2099, where he was an amalgam of Spider-Man 2099 and Mon-El, he married an Insect Queen and gave birth to Spider-Lass, who is Spider-Girl and Super-Lass, who is
Super-Lass?
Super-Lass is Clark Kent and Lois Lane's possible future daughter.
Wow. Okay. Why Lass?
Because she's a girl. Her name's Lisa Kent.
But, like, why Lass? Like, she's not Scottish.
Because she was made in 1969. And Supergirl was already taken.
Super-Lass.
I mean, there's Aqualad. They loved doing that
Lad
stuff then.
is, like, different, though.
I guess.
It's not like super laddie, like.
No. It's not. Wait, am I hearing more echo? Yeah.
I know where it's from.
Okay. Oh, I know where it's from. Yeah. I don't even think it's making the mic, but I heard making it to the mic, but I heard it. Just like I heard our leaderboard, where More Like Pooperman is in first, Mix's Mitzapitlik is in second, Duperman in third, The Last Son of a Krypton in fourth, and Red Sun in fifth. More Like Pooperman gained the most points on that question, gaining 885 points because they answered it in 5.1 seconds. Well, really, we're all Superman if you think about it. They thought about this question for too long because they took them 43.8 seconds to answer, so they got a mere 26 points.
Ha!
As we go to question number 4, here it is. This is from the DC Super Dictionary. According to 1978's The Super Dictionary, which Superman villain stole 40 cakes? That's as many as 4 tens. Was that Brainiac, Lex Luthor, Metallo, or Mr. Mxyzptlk?
That's as many as 4 tens.
Do you know this answer? This was a meme for a while.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I also hope it's adapted in the James Gunn movie. And given that it's James Gunn, there is a non-zero chance
Yeah.
that it gets adopted. Or adapted, not adopted. Clark's adopted. But according to 1978, this is from Lois and Clark, by the way. This is Dean Cain, noted Trump lover,
Ew.
as Superman. He's one of the worst people to play Superman.
Ew.
He's probably the worst, actually.
Cause like what? There's him.
There's
Christopher Reeve.
Henry Cavill, Tim Daly, George Reeves, Tyler Hoechlin, Brandon Routh.
Poor Brandon Routh.
Oh, Adam Baldwin also played Superman, and he sucks. Jane from Firefly.
Oh, ew. Why'd he play Superman?
I don't know.
Like, who looked at him and was
like... No, voice.
Oh.
He voiced Clark Kent. Oh, because there was also Dark Superman. He should have just been Dark Superman. Ugh. Anyway, let's see what you picked. Oh, Jack Quaid, of course. Jack Quaid is Superman on My Adventures with Superman. One of you said Brainiac. 6 of you said Lex Luthor. None of you thought it was Metallo. And 4 of you said Mr. Mxyzptlk. That's true. Ben Affleck played George Reeves as Superman. And the correct answer to this question, though, is in fact Lex Luthor.
That's what I thought.
Lex Luthor took 40 cakes. That's as many as 4 tens.
Show
Here's
us.
the Know Your Meme page about it. The Super Dictionary is published by Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston in July 1978. The book features more than 4,000 alphabetically arranged words, each defined within story sequences involving various DC comic book characters like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Flash. While the illustrations were meant to educate children through popular DC superheroes, some of the more absurd and campy situations portrayed in the book became a subject of internet mockery.
Ooh.
One of the most memorable instances involves the supervillain character Lex Luthor stealing a cart full of cakes. When
As many as 4 tens of cakes.
When no one was looking, Lex Luthor took 40 cakes. He took 40 cakes. That's as many as 4 tens, and that's terrible.
And that's terrible.
But as they say, and as documented on Reddit, there's more than just that in it. The Joker took a beet from a woman's garden. He took a plant with a dark red part that grows under the ground. Beets are good to eat.
Beets are good to eat.
The Penguin is a bad man. He is not good. He is worse when he plays tricks. He is worst when he is mean.
Ooh, okay. Well, Fluval, you're both playing tricks and are mean.
Yeah.
So.
I hope I don't have an attack of sneezing. I don't want to have a sudden fit of sneezing. I've had 2 attacks today. I'm ready now for their attack. I'm ready if they suddenly begin their fight. Attack her! Run at her! Do it as you attacked last time!
Wow.
Bend. Superman can bend anything. He can
He
pull...
steals 40 Ozempic vials. That's as many
Yeah.
as 4 tens.
He can pull anything out of shape. Superman bent an airplane. Crump. Whir. Crash.
Yeah?
Lex
Is that
Luthor...
true, Mr. Blow?
Lois Lane has a box on her head. She has something on her head that is made of paper or wood and is used to hold things. Most boxes have 4 flat sides, a top and a bottom.
No, not really.
I just love this. I just love Lois Lane has a box on her head. While Clark and Perry White watch helplessly.
Like, oh no.
You must pay 1 cent if you want to pass. You must pay 1 penny.
He is Green Lantern.
For 2 cents, you can put your name on the door. Yeah, it probably is the old Adam West inspired cartoon. Atom can choose his size. He can pick how big or how small he will be. He chose to be as tiny as a doll. Atom was chosen as a toy for a girl. Every clock is gone. All the things that show us the time are gone. Someone took all the clocks away. Some joke. Decide if you want to drive or fly, Superman. Make up your mind which it will be. When you have decided, I'll tell you where you have to go.
Wow.
Just Lois beating the shit out of Superman.
Just like, ah!
He's smiling, so I don't know. I think it might be a roleplay thing.
He might be into it.
Batgirl jumped on top of her desk. She jumped on her writing table. Then she remembered desks are for writing, not for jumping.
Damn.
I'm glad Batgirl remembered that desks are not for jumping. But I don't think Superman wasn't on the Adam West show.
He wasn't?
No.
Oh.
No. He never appeared in Batman 66. The Green Hornet did.
Was
not
he
Superman.
a bad guy?
No.
A bad guy?
He was his ally.
Oh.
Because the Green Hornet was another TV superhero, but not a DC superhero. And yeah, Heman Cato, who was played by Bruce Lee, appeared on Batman 66. Yeah. Maybe you mixed up Robin and Superman. Maybe.
Maybe.
They may be drinkers, Robin, but they're still human beings. Exactly. The Adam West show was simply too grounded and down to earth and serious for a character like Superman to appear. But the Man of Steel can appear on our leaderboard, where the last son of a Krypton gained the most points, gaining 895 points, while Fitzlang's Metropolis gained the least points, gaining 436. But Mix's Mitsipitlik lost the most points, losing 849 because they just answered too fast and too wrong. Last son of a Krypton answered fastest overall, answering 4.7 seconds.
And they got it wrong?
They got it right.
Ha! Oh.
Yeah, no, they got it right. They gained the most points and answered fastest of all the players, not just the people who got it right.
Wow.
So they got it right faster than any of you who missed that question got it wrong. Let's see if their luck continues on question number 5. DC has published a comics crossover where Superman meets which of these food spokes characters? Little Caesar, Ronald McDonald, the Quick Bunny, or Tony the Tiger? DC has published a comics crossover where Superman meets which of these food spokes characters? Little Caesar, Ronald McDonald, the Quick Bunny, or Tony the Tiger?
It took me like a while to remember who the fuck the Quick Bunny was.
The bunny from Nestle Quick, or Nesquik, as it was later known.
It's like, oh yeah, that like fake chocolate stuff.
Yeah. Nice sexy boy lingerie on the guy behind Superman. I think that's Aqualad.
Sure is some sexy boy lingerie.
No, that's not Aqualad. It's Samurai, right, of course.
Oh, of course.
I forgot Aqualad in that one was like just a little boy in like a red shirt and blue Speedo. The movie is the best Batman movie. Oh yeah, Batman the movie is great. Samurai is going straight to the club after this. But now let's see what you all picked. Well, and okay, what do you think the answer is, intern?
Okay, I think it's Ronald McDonald. I think that McDonald's is the only one that's gonna have like...
Our ally, Dr. President, has caused some suffering from Missy by standing on their computer's power button. So you think it's Ronald McDonald?
Yeah, I think that they're the only ones with
3
the
people
juice.
agreed with you. None of you thought it was Little Caesar. 2 of you said the Quick Bunny, and 5 of you said Tony the Tiger. The correct answer is the Quick Bunny.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Wait, are you gonna show us?
Of course, yeah. They published a comic as documented here on gone-and-forgotten.blogspot.com with DC and Nestle present Superman and the Quick Bunny in Quick Thinking.
Weird. That's so weird.
And like they go back through time too. So the wizard is pouring torrential rain down on the city of Metropolis when 4 plucky kid geniuses are busy constructing a super robot treehouse off in the suburbs somewhere. And then these are the Quick Club.
Okay.
And they work for the Quick Bunny.
Okay.
And they can't...
I like how the Quick Bunny has, like, child fucking employees.
I just love these quick drinking contests. Go, Superman! You can do it, Quick Bunny!
Superman! Who wins?
I assume we don't find out.
Because, like, I would assume it would be Superman, because he has super lungs.
He does. Super drinking lungs.
I suppose... Yeah, your lungs are what you use to drink through a straw, right? It makes the suction.
Yeah. Well, there also was an entire Quick Bunny comic book series. See? So this was the cover for Superman Meets the Quick Bunny, and the Quick Bunny... Marvel had a Quick Bunny series, but yeah. This was 1987 promotional comic.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
I drink it up, but also I drink up my... Tony the Tiger might not have appeared in a comic book crossover, but he did meet mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent, who endorsed Frosted Flakes and is friends with Tony, according to this promotional spot for Sugar Frosted Flakes, back when they called it Sugar Frosted Flakes.
Hi, come on and meet my pal, Clark Kent, the star of Superman.
Yeah.
You know, there's something mighty interesting going on around my town. Every place I go, I see that favorite new cereal of mine, Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. Look,
You just can't be Superman. That's all there is to it.
No, it doesn't count blog. It said a comic book. It said DC published a comic book crossover. They didn't publish this.
You're a girl. And that's not much of a reason. Well, I know something you can do that Superman will sure like. What? You can have some more Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. Superman says they're the best. I like them the best, too. Hey, I know. Since you like Sugar Frosted Flakes, you can be Supergirl.
You see, kids may argue, but never about Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. This is the new cereal kids all agree is the best tasting cereal ever. Tony, tell the folks how Frosted Flakes taste.
Great! New Flakes, Frosted Flakes, Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, not a comic book crossover, so it doesn't give you points, but it, was fun. Wasn't it?
It was fun.
So let's go to the leaderboard where the last son of a Krypton is holding on to first place, even though Red Sun is hot on their tail because they gained the most points on that question, getting 264, while last son of a Krypton only gained 52. More like Pooperman lost the most points, losing 888 points, and answered the fastest overall. My grandma used to prepare my grandpa's Ret Pop Frosted Flakes for him, a layer of sugar between every layer of flakes.
What the fuck?
Jeez, I bet they tasted great, but wow.
Jesus. No wonder the new generations look younger than the old.
Yeah, you know why another reason they look... Let's get
Why?
that clean. You know another reason the younger generation looks younger than old ones did at their age?
What?
Because they haven't participated in... Because the intense stress generated by needing to clarify, this is not a raffle. This is a wacky ticket reunification game. No monetary anything was given to us to enter. No purchase was necessary at all to enter. People have their tickets who don't even know that they're in this wacky ticket reunification game. And nothing of monetary value is being given for playing. All that's being given is the sense of satisfaction you get by forcing these tickets to be together. Because you see, that makes these tickets suffer. Because these tickets would rather be apart, but you can force them to be together, much like Superman and Kryptonite.
Or Jell-O with mayo.
Huh.
And cash.
They ate cash? H-Dub's grandpa ate cash? How does Blog know that?
Fuck. It's barely even a game.
It's a wacky ticket reunification game.
Our first ticket is 396719. 396719. Come on down.
You're right. It's really more a wacky reunification bit for entertainment purposes only.
Our
suffering.
next ticket,
which is entertaining to me.
That's right. It's 396911. 396911.
Never forget. 396911.
To get drunk?
Never forget. Probably.
You
think he drank Listerine for his oral health? Chugged that thing down for his gums?
I only think of that with, there was that Dr. House episode where they're like, this little girl, this beauty queen is real fucked up. What could be wrong? And she's like, I drank Listerine. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
she's fucking drunk on ethanol.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Doctor Who.
He was an alcoholic for sure. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
We
Again,
call it Listerine.
What if you
around here.
What if you didn't consume matter?
Yeah.
If you lived off suffering and vibes like me, Fluval.
He was wasted on Listerine. Yep. That sounds like alcoholic ass behavior.
That sounds like letting a good mouth go bad. That's true. He does go off world.
Our next ticket, 396561.
396561.
396561. Our next ticket.
That was 3, right?
Yeah.
Good.
39.
You passed my test.
6974. 396974.
39.
69.
74. 74.
And
39, 69, 74.
74. 6974. Ooh, 719.
Who's 719? Oh. It is not a raffle. Sleepy Zane.
And I'm going to force intern Emily Pineapple to figure out the mailing situation of all of these this Friday on It's a Goddamn World of Dolls.
Okay, but make sure you don't dox them while you do.
Oh, no, I won't. Wait, okay, so just 2 winners?
Well, we have one more ticket.
Oh! 396648. 396648.
396648. I do not give you thousands of dollars. I don't give anyone thousands of dollars, but you can support us on Patreon if you want to give us thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you should give us
Honestly,
thousands of dollars.
If you want to give us thousands of dollars, you should especially support us on patreon.com/radio
probably give us thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Look, give us thousands of dollars, and then we will ethically redistribute that wealth. You can trust us.
Wink.
A bunch of beta fish get bought from, like, all of the fucking Petco stores.
No.
No, you wouldn't use it to buy your fellow fighting fish?
I'm not actually a fish.
That's true.
No, I would use it to buy a computer.
Extra entries into the famous Grizz Raffle Marathon!
Like, our computer's fine, but I'd get a new computer.
I'm Listerining.
The station could always use an upgrade, you know?
Station could use an upgrade. The kind of upgrade where y'all can see the studio cats!
Well, that would be a different upgrade than I was thinking, but yeah.
Yeah, that would not cost thousands of dollars.
That would not cost that. That's much more of an effort thing than anything else.
But we could always use thousands of dollars.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, definitely give us thousands of dollars.
All right, friends. That was our game.
That was our game. Well, that was one of our games. Our bigger game is still running because trivia continues now with question number 6. Why is the 25th Amendment invoked against President Luthor in the arc Superman/Batman Public Enemies? Is it A, he bombs Iran to take revenge on the Joker, who is the representative to the UN? B, he established a labor camp in Florida to build a super weapon? C, he leaks state secrets to Russia? Or D, he tries to kill Superman? Why is the 25th Amendment invoked against President Luthor in the arc Superman-Batman Public Enemies?
What? Those are all things.
What?
Those are all things that the current president is doing.
Well, that's why I'm asking. Why was the 25th Amendment invoked against President Luthor in the arc Superman-Batman Public Enemies? What do you think it is?
Okay, I actually remember which one it is.
Well, everyone's answered, so what do you think it is?
Did he do the other ones?
No.
Okay. He tries to kill Superman.
Yeah, he tries. Shockingly, Lex Luthor tries to kill Superman. 8 of you got it wrong. That's true. Trump has tried to kill Superman. Luigi Lungioni.
Right? I was just like, wait.
So in the comic, Lex Luthor
that was good
does a bunch of stuff. A kryptonite meteor is coming towards Earth. The day is saved, and he goes crazy. Lex Luthor injects himself with a synthetic blend of a blend of synthetic kryptonite and Bane's favorite drug, venom.
Oh, did he get it from Alex Jones?
Probably. They're alpha pills. And it drives him mad, and he dons a battle suit from Apocalypse to try to kill Batman and Superman. Impeachment hearings are then called as a result of this utterly unpredictable event of Lex Luthor trying to kill Superman. But Luthor skips towns during the hearing. Luthor leaves during the hearing. So the 25th Amendment is invoked, and Lex's VP, Pete Ross, who was Clark's friend in Smallville, becomes president. And yes, as Wiz said, the Fluval's fact fractal is Joker was the ambassador to the UN from Iran.
What?
In the comics, and it was handled as tastefully as you would imagine.
Oh no, I hate everything.
Now isn't this touching?
Why is he dressed
My
like
old
a
pals
Muslim
Superham and Baptist
woman?
have come to congratulate me. It's true, guys. I'm the new Iranian ambassador to the UN. Eat your hearts out. Yeah. Yeah. It is, Sleepy Zane. It is.
Huh.
Brought up more as a reminder, like, maybe a lot of things should get the 25th Amendment brought up. Also, maybe a lot of the problems going on your pathetic little world aren't exactly new ones. Just the simmering, boiling over of old ones.
Was it rotten the whole time, Fluval?
It might have been rotten the whole time, which is why you need to build a Star Trek utopia so that we can come knock it down, because it won't be as sweet if we blow up your planet now.
No, you're
Mystique
all
is the
fucking
blue one.
begging to be destroyed.
And it's like, come on. That's not how this works.
We can't destroy you when you're all praying for a meteor to murder all of you.
You need to reach great unparalleled heights before destroying you will be enough sweet suffering.
For the prefect, Iranian ambassador Joker.
Farscape would never. Well, actually, the Scarans would.
The Scarans would, but
and the
remember,
Peacekeepers would
9/11 changed everything.
That's true. Yeah, John Crichton goes back to Earth and is like, we should share all the...
After 9/11.
Yeah, he's like, we should...
Zap. He gets shot through a wormhole in 1999. He comes back after 9/11 and his dad is like, 9/11 changed everything. Yeah. And he's like, no, you do all have to share the
Crichton
wonderful
is like,
technology.
we should give all the technology and share it with all of humanity. And his dad's like, it's not the same world as it was when you left, John. 9/11 changed everything.
Yeah.
And John's like, no.
Nah.
No. I've seen so much horrible things, and I still think we should share.
He's like, you don't really understand what kinds of 9/11s I have seen.
Behold, the 9/11s
see a planet
I've seen.
Get destroyed.
I want to share with you the 9/11s I've seen. Lex Luthor is close to Dr. Doom when it comes to narcissistic pettiness. Absolutely. Luthor and Doom are in like a league of their own when it comes to pettiness, though.
That is true.
And that's why they're both presumably coming to a theater near you this summer. And to leaderboard?
Ooh.
Maybe. Let's see if Doom and Luthor are there. Nope, but the last son of a Krypton is in first place with 3,846 points. Red Sun in second. More like Pooperman in third.
No, the auras.
Really, we're all Superman if you think about it in fourth. And Mixes Mitsipitlik in fifth. Really, we're all Superman if you think about it. Is one of the two players who got it right. And they gained 644 points because they answered it in 16 seconds. While Mixes Mitsipitlik lost the most points, losing 824 points. Answering in 7.941 seconds.
Ha!
Let's continue your suffering with question number 7. Which of these is an effect we've seen pink kryptonite cause? It makes Kryptonians fall in love. It switches Kryptonians' gender. It turns Kryptonians gay, or it turns Kryptonians into communists. This is a returning question from DC Trivia. Do you remember the answer to this, Intern Crypto?
I fucking don't. I hope it turns them gay. Right?
That would be fun.
That would be so much fun. Wouldn't that be funny if half all of them are like, I'm suddenly extremely heterosexual. Because they were gay to start.
Would it turn? So yeah, it would
they
flip
were all
it
gay
would,
to start. Ha!
That is funny.
I think I got this wrong.
Suffer.
It probably just makes them fall in love, which is fucking.
Say your answer.
Bisexual Kryptonians turn asexual. Yeah, it's fall in love.
Okay.
It's some boring bullshit.
2 of you said fall in love. 4 said switches their gender. 5 says turns them gay.
Yes.
The correct answers are switches their gender and turns them gay.
Oh, I love that.
Pride Month may be over, but pink kryptonite is here all year. As noted on the DC Wiki, in Supergirl Volume 4, number 79, when Linda Danvers takes the original Kara Zor-El's place and arrives in the pre-crisis era, there is a comical scene where Superman is exposed to pink kryptonite, with the implication being it temporarily turned him gay. And that's this scene. Did I ever tell you how smashing you look in bow ties, Jimmy? By the way, that's a fabulous window treatment you've put together. Gulp. Gee, thanks, I guess.
You see, he's gay, so he likes window treatments.
You know, Superman's been acting awfully strange since being exposed to pink kryptonite. What do you think's wrong with him? Lois, you so don't want to know.
Is she gay too? Is that why she's hitting on Lois?
No, she's not hitting on Lois.
Oh.
She's just being a teenage girl because this is like teenage girl era Supergirl.
Oh, yeah. She probably shouldn't be hitting on an adult.
No.
And an adult shouldn't...
And
an adult should not be
and her
reciprocating.
cousin's wife.
No,
Justice
certainly
League
not.
Action sports Metallo's kryptonite heart being transmuted into pink kryptonite by Firestorm.
Yeah.
Which flips the physical genders of Kryptonians, turning Superman into a woman of steel.
Ooh. Jimmy Olsen staring at Superman's Jimmy. Ow! Yeah, the word fabulous is only used by gay people.
Yeah, Reed narrowly avoided misunderstandings because they could have been the Fabulous Four.
They could have been the
I
Fabulous
know the Beatles sort of
Four.
already had that.
Quill O'Neill.
But I think it's time we had a little...
This is the Justice League Action thing.
What's the matter, Superman? You're looking pretty green right now.
Don't worry, Superman! I got this!
Quick, Ronald, use your powers to transmute his green kryptonite power source into lead.
I love that they visualize his like professor friend as a floating head in an atom. That's the character played by the actor who was in Hello, Dolly.
Pink kryptonite makes you a top. Bad writing.
That was the guy played by Victor Garber, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, way ahead of you, Prof.
That was Martin Stein. Why is Warren Buffett a floating head?
Anchor-inducing red kryptonite?
Accident! Sorry about that, everybody. I meant to do this!
Huh? Where am I? Who am I? Ow! Why is he punching me? Oh, you meant to turn it into amnesia-causing gold kryptonite.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't totally remember the chemical composition of green kryptonite, and if I don't know it, I can't transmute it.
We went over it this morning.
In my defense, that lecture was very boring and very long.
Now it's personality-splitting black kryptonite.
Maybe this time?
You have to piss so bad.
Oh my god, he gets a magical girl transformation sequence.
Yes!
I can work with this.
It is very cute how game Superman is for that.
He's just like, yes.
No, I remember why I wrote it down. Okay, I see. Plasma. Got it!
Great work, Firestorm. Just one last thing. Don't tell Batman about this.
Oh, are you kidding me? I would never do that. Send. Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you just say?
Exactly. He does not stay to your puny human idea of gender, much like Fluval.
Yeah,
he's beyond it.
Yeah, much like that's one of the ways we're the same.
Yeah. He is beyond it and uses he, him pronouns.
I could also leap a tall building in a single bound. I don't want to, but I could.
I had a dream recently that I was with an ex-boyfriend
Superman.
of mine, and I was like all chill until he like wrote this awful screed about how he doesn't believe in pronouns, and I got so fucking mad about it that I like burst into his like classroom and started screaming at him about pronouns. And now if he doesn't use any pronouns, then we need to call them by their name.
Do you know that old version of the Superman theme?
No.
Oh, that's like the old. Okay, we're gonna pull that up. They're a basic facet of every language imaginary, sir.
Right? I was so mad. Yeah,
that's the classic theme, like the pre-Reeves theme. That's Reeves. Both of these follow that every Superman theme song you should be able to say all the lyrics as Superman. Oh, this is the live action.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky.
This is Reeves.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. Strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth,
this is a different theme,
and the American way. And now, another example.
Yeah, I was thinking the rotoscoped cartoon.
Was he drawn by Liefeld?
I mean, there weren't feet.
He has invisible feet. Not enough shoulder pads. That's true.
Here we go.
Or are we gonna look at the cool?
Yeah, of course.
Rotoscope. Yes. No extra pockets. Mm-mm.
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
Yeah, Intern Forrest had these on tape too. Superman, 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 Superman.
Yes.
I love that video so much, Sleepy Zane.
There once existed a planet known as Krypton, a planet that burned like a green star in the distant heavens.
See?
Chief, don't you think that's a dangerous mission?
There's Lois. Yeah, these are the Fleischer ones. Yeah.
So fucking cool.
They're so cool. I love how bendy the skyscraper is. Oh yeah, that is helpful.
It's Superman!
What? What was the deal with that guy?
I don't know. He was a mad scientist, and I don't want to think. I don't know if he's. You know, it might be just one of those situations where Superman's not racist, but the people who draw him are. Yeah, exactly.
Superman.
Exactly. It's. And this is also Bud Collyer, who voiced Superman on the radio show. Oh, this is the one. This is the cooler one.
I'm not racist. I'm just drawn that way.
No, absolutely. It's gorgeous. Superman, there's over 20 robots. How will you survive? Vincent Price is gonna take you down. I wish animation still looked like this too, wouldn't me? But unfortunately, Walt Disney won and not the Fleischer brothers. I do still need to see My Adventures with Superman. I do love, I know what will stop Superman, a wooden bar.
Take one more step and she's doomed.
This looks like Elio. Though also, the drama around Elio being re-edited to remove all the queer content is interesting.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they think that that's part of why Elio doesn't really work in the theatrical form is because Elio is supposed to be a queer character, and about sort of like feeling like an outsider and all of that.
Because he's gay.
And so they really like stripped all that out. And one of the original writers was like, yeah, that's why it doesn't feel like it's about anything anymore. You know what is about something though?
What?
Our leaderboard. Where the last son of a krypton, a boo indeed.
Huh?
The last son of a krypton is in first place. Red Sun in second. Really, we're all Superman if you think about it in third. Mixes Mitsapitlik in fourth. And Blogtopen backwards in fifth. Gay stories are fine, absolutely. And Mixes Mizzy Pitlick is in gained the most points, not in first place. Exactly, they cut the meaning out and it bombed. Wild. Our leaderboard is a queer allegory, with Mixes Mitzi Pitlick gaining the most points on that question, 892, because they answered the fastest, while more like Pooper Man lost the most points on that question, losing how many? 879 points, meaning that they now have 964 points heading into question number 8.
Ha!
According to the comic Tag and Bink, Revenge of the Clone Menace, which Sith Lord's dark experiments are responsible for the creation of Superman?
Ooh.
Is that Darth Caedus, Darth Plagueis, Darth Sidious, or Darth Vader? According to the comic Tag and Bink, Revenge of the Clone Menace, which Sith Lord's dark experiments are responsible for the creation of Superman? Do you know this answer?
I don't. I didn't realize that they referenced Superman.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lucasfilm used to be wild.
Right?
I should have picked the one I hadn't heard of, says 1BBBR.
Oh, I've heard of all of these at length.
This question launches an extraordinary line of questioning in my brain, says Sleepy Zane. According to my boys, Tag and Bink. You've heard a lot about all these characters? Well, then who are they all?
So, Darth Plagueis is
Yeah.
Darth Sidious's master,
Yes.
and Darth Vader is Darth Sidious's apprentice.
Uh-huh.
And I think Darth Caedus is the first Darth.
Nope.
No?
No,
Is he
Darth-
Darth Plagueis's master?
Nope. He's Darth Vader's Sith grandson in Star Wars Legends.
Oh.
He's Jason Solo turned to the dark side by the Sith Vergir and the Dark Lady Lumia.
Yeah.
In the aftermath of the Yuzon Vong War, which devastated the galaxy and turned Coruscant from a vibrant cityscape to a jungle.
Oh.
Because the Yuzon Vong took over Coruscant.
That's cool.
So desperate was the galaxy, they even lost their capital. And they used organic technology and hated machinery. So they turned it all into a jungle.
Okay. I mean...
They hated the Jedi specifically, and they hated Luke, and I most of all, for having a mechanical hand. And Vader was like a demon to them, because he's like a Force user and a machine human hybrid. Yeah. And they were named after food that the team had.
It's like of all the things that you can do to a place when you take it over.
Yeah.
Turning it into a jungle isn't as bad.
No, they also tortured people, including Princess Leia.
That's bad.
Yeah. In very dark and brutal parts of the book because it was the 2000s. So let's see what you all picked. 2 of you said Caedus. 7 of you said Darth Plagueis the Wise. 1 of you said Darth Sidious. None of you thought it was Vader. So what are you going with?
I think it's got to be Plagueis.
Yeah, it is Plagueis. It's Darth Plagueis the Wise.
The Wise.
The Wise. And his experiments with the midi-chlorians, of course.
Oh,
Seen
okay.
here is the page from the panel, but not even. This starts out as Palpatine telling Anakin the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, weird that we kept thinking about torture in the U.S. in the early 2000s, huh? Don't know what was in the air. It's wild.
Isn't
But
that
not
just
even Plagueis
so
the Wise,
strange?
nor his successor, could see the far-reaching effects that his midichlorian manipulation would have on many individuals across the galaxy. In the Alderaan system, Plagueis' actions would raise the midichlorian levels in a newborn baby just enough to cause visiting Jedi to take notice. Who is it, dear? Hey, we're with the Council. We gave last year. On the planet of Corellia, Plagueis' influence would cause a young boy to display some remarkable talents. Well, he doesn't get this from my side of the family. And these are Tag and Bink. And yeah, Jedi Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
And in another part of the galaxy, his disturbance in the Force would cause a red sun to explode, destroying a nearby planet whose sole survivor would grow to become Earth's greatest hero. But that's another story and an entirely different publishing house, so we'll just focus on the first two. This is a comedy Star Wars comic series. Funny, Star Wars, it'll never work.
It'll never work. They should have left that one on the shelf.
Yeah, this was Star Wars Tag and Bink, Revenge of the Clone Menace. This is the comic for one of them. It's the prequel to the Tag and Bink series, which has Tag and Bink as Jedi Padawans instead of stormtroopers.
That's fun. Over here! Help!
Help! Over here!
Yeah. Over here!
You can also see the Battlestar Galactica in the background. Bink reads the Jedi Tricks for Dummies book. And you can see the Beatles. And George Lucas is filming everything happening at... No, George Lucas is filming the Beatles crossing the street in front of Dex's Diner, like in the Abbey Road album cover. And George Lucas is filming it in a pose from an on-set photo of American Graffiti.
Oh, fun.
And Crow and Tom Servo, Crow T. Robot, and GPC from Mystery Science Theater 3000 are all there, too.
Ooh. Yeah, back when it was still Dark Horse.
Yeah, very much when it was Dark Horse. Yes, Disney would never do that.
Are you ready for?
It was very, well, it was reference humor.
It was very,
it was reference humor heavy and like,
what's your mind?
but that hadn't sort of pervaded all of culture
no
fully yet. But yeah, it was very referencey. This was like the same era where Star Wars Tales had the thing where Han Solo goes to Earth. The Falcon crash lands on Earth. Han dies in it, and Indiana Jones finds his skeleton with Short Round, and Chewbacca is Bigfoot.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a very referencey era for Star Wars. As is our leaderboard, where the last son of a Krypton is in first. Red Sun in second. Mixes Mitzi Pitlick in fourth. Nevotegolb in fourth. No, Nevothgolb in fourth. Duperman in fifth. Yeah, well, Grebleeps. Senator Grebleeps works in the Senate, who's a member of the same species as E.T., but is not E.T. Well, maybe E.T. We don't know if E.T. is him.
Ooh, could E.T. be a senator?
Yeah, why not? It's a long time ago. We don't know their lifespan.
That's true.
It's probably not, given that it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but it could be.
Can you imagine? They're like, no, we sent our senator to make contact.
Because the theory is that's why he reacts to the Yoda costume so much, is because he was a senator who probably met Yoda. And so he's like, shit, I know that guy. Yoda! In the Mr. Matty Itzel Pitlick gained the most points on that question, getting 830. While really we're all Superman, if you think about it, lost the most, losing 639. E.T. is apolitical, says Blogthoven. What?
That just E.T. is apolitical.
He is. As is question.
Apolitical Dynamo.
As is question number 9. Which of these is a real superhero-related item on the menu at DC's Superhero Cafe? Kal-El, the Golden Boy. My mom, Martha, made this Black Forest cake. Superman's Americano Way. Or Superman has gone bizarro for bolognese. You knew it had to be here.
You knew it.
You knew there would be a DC Superhero Cafe question. You had to know. I don't know why you wouldn't have just studied up the second you learned that it was DC trivia. Damn it. This is heavily political.
Yeah.
Senate backwards is E.T. Ains.
E.T. Ains.
E.T. Ains. I don't study for trivia. I'm guessing it's not D because it's bolognese. I like being surprised. Well, thank you. I like you suffering from not knowing the answers, so it's good that you don't study. Well, let's see. What do you think?
I think it's all of them.
Okay. 3 of you said Kal-El, the golden boy. 2 of you said my mom Martha made this black forest cake. 6 of you said Superman's Americano way. None of you thought it was D. Well,
beef bolognese is his code word with Lois. I was right!
It is, of course, all of them. Scene here is Superman has gone bizarro for bolognese, which is spaghetti with chef's special minced beef on bolognese sauce. There's also Aquaman's marinara, BVS Superman's pasta crevettes carbonara, and the Flash mushroom spaghetti.
Yum.
And here's the coffee menu.
I know the garnish is amazing.
Yelp, I'm a person. There we go. Had to verify by yelling at it. There's WW's Warm Earth Mother Mocha, the Dynamic Duo's Double Choc Kapow, Superman's Americano Way, Green Lantern's Hal Hot Planet, Hot Tea Superman Selection, the Sweet Side Squad, and Kal-El the Golden Boy, which is a double shot espresso with Irish Bailey's cream.
Oh, really?
With an ABV of 7.3.
I would have assumed that it was a turmeric drink.
That would make more sense. And Green Lantern's Hal Hot Planet is a hot white chocolate matcha.
Is Fluval a person?
What?
Is Fluval a person?
Is that maybe how it got translated for you?
Yeah.
I'm a being, and humans are so humanocentric that I bet it did get translated as a person.
Why does it have a Batman cookie?
Probably because BVS was around this time. So there's, and also because Batman is Batman. You know? They'll always punch something up by adding Batman. And scene here is my mom Martha made this black forest cake, which has a Superman crest that means hope on it.
Is Fluval a corporation?
There's also the red velvet cake.
Is Fluval a straw man?
The Batman's gritty Gotham brownie, the Wonder Woman's mythical strawberry shortcake, the Batman lemon meringue cake, the Wonder Woman Warrior Rainbow Chocolate Cake, the Joker's Rainbow Madness Cheesecake, which was the subject of a previous question, Superman's Rainbow of Hope Cake, the Daily Planet's Oreo Cheesecake, and the Smallville Wholesome American Cheesecake, as well as the Super Mint Chocolate Cupcake and their Wonder Woman Mocha Cupcake and assorted cupcakes. Now, what's this clip? Oh, I see. Opala Koala has cut out a clip.
What is it?
Let's see. Let's take a look.
What is it? They just bought the gay cakes.
Yup, I'm a person. There we go. Had to verify by yelling at it.
Yup, I'm a person.
Yup, I'm a person. There we go. Had to verify by yelling at it. There we go. See?
Yeah.
I guess that's how it got translated in your dimension. Is as person, and they're all real. So let's go to our leaderboard, where the last son of a Krypton is still in first place with 4,625 points. Red Sun in second, Mix's Mitzi Pitlick in third, Duperman in fourth, and Nevot Golb in fifth. I don't.
Oh, you don't, Flu.
I mean, of course I do.
I was going to say, were you hit with some
gold kryptonite?
kryptonite?
No, I remember all things. I remember.
Yeah. Fluval knows all. Fluval has experienced all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I've experienced all, and I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be something like this, right? I remember. Something like this, maybe? Oh, something like this a little bit. Like it would be a little something like this. It would be something like this, right? I mean, it has to be along these lines. Like I can't think it's too different from this. Oh, something like this. It couldn't be that different. Hello, Cool Sheev, the coolest cat this guy's Coruscant. I mean, it has to be along these lines. I can't think it's too different from this. One BBBR knows where they were. Hello, Cool Sheev, the coolest cat destroys. Oh, Fluval meets Tuval. One BBBR knows where they were. Planet destroying. Cut to planet cam. Fluval meets cut to planet cam. Cerveza Crystal. The nice refreshing taste of Cerveza Crystal. I do like that we're going pure cacophony this time and not doing any taste of Cerveza. Rhythmic music thing. It's just raw chaos this time on Grand Trivia. Not doing the ultra trivia show in any dimension where the points do matter. It's just losing will cost you everything. Show in any dimension where the points do matter. It's just losing will cost you everything. Hey, Fluval, the points do matter. It's just losing will cost you. It's me, Chris Gethard. I'm here behind this matrix. Hey, it looks pretty cool. Goodbye, Gethard. Why did you say goodbye to yourself, Gethard? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I know I did that. I got confused. There was a lot of chaos. Why did you say goodbye to yourself, Christopher Gethard? Yeah, I know I did that. I got confused. There was a lot of chaos. Why did you say goodbye to yourself, Christopher Gethard? Yeah, I know I did that. I got confused. There was a lot of chaos. Why did you say goodbye to yourself, Christopher Gethard? Yeah, I know I did that. I got confused. There was a lot of chaos. Why did you say goodbye to Wiz World is the law, creeps. Yeah, I know I did that. I got confused. There was a lot of chaos. Why did you say goodbye to Wiz World is the law, creeps. Yeah, I know I did that. I got confused. Now what's wild is how much worse our video looks. Not to us, the law, you know? Now what's wild is how... Yeah. That was fun. I'm glad we did that. And all of you who are redeeming now, you just missed out on having to be part of that cacophony because the cacophony is over. You know?
It's so silent.
It is. It is. It's so silent. Smash cut to the next question. Yep. Wager your points. This next question is about Superman.
Ooh.
This next question is about Superman. Superman. And going into this, as I mentioned, our top 5 are The Last Son of a Krypton, Red Sun, Mixes Mitzi Pitlick, Duperman, and Nevetgolb. But more like Pooperman gained the most points on that last question.
More like Pooperman. Oh.
That's okay. It hurt my head in 5 seconds, so I had to take my headphones off. Good. Suffer, Missy. Here we go. Your last question begins in a few seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. According to Richard Donner, Marlon Brando pitched that Jor-El, Superman's father, should look like what inanimate object? A bagel, a camera, a stuffed animal, or a suitcase?
What?
According to Richard Donner, Marlon Brando pitched that Jor-El should look like what inanimate object? A bagel, a camera, a stuffed animal, or a suitcase?
What?
We'll go into why he pitched this after everyone answers.
It's not about Bibbo.
It's not about Bibbo. Yeah. It's basically... So Marlon Brando realized if a character looks like an inanimate object, he doesn't have to show up and be on camera. He gets paid his on-camera rate for just doing a voiceover. So it was Brando trying to talk them into just having him do a voiceover for Jor-El, but it took the form of looking like an inanimate object. But now let's see what everyone picked.
Right?
5 said a bagel, 2 said a camera, none said a stuffed animal. He did do a lot of like this. 3 of you, freak blank check, just cover the Superman movies on Patreon. 3 of you said suitcase. The correct answer is a bagel.
I thought it was a suitcase.
The correct answer is, in fact, a bagel, as reported by The Hollywood Reporter. Quote, Brando lived in L.A., and this is from Dick Donner. Dick Donner... So the correct answer is a bagel. A friend used the example of a green suitcase to warn Dick Donner about Brando's tendency to suggest his characters look like inanimate objects so that he can get a salary just for doing a voiceover. But Dick Donner said to the Hollywood Reporter, quote, Brando lived in L.A. and I had to go and meet him. I called Jay Cantor, who was a very powerful agent and studio executive, and I said, can you give me any hints? And he said, he's going to want to play it like a green suitcase. And I said, what does that mean? It means he hates to work and he loves money. So if he can talk you into the fact that people on Krypton look like green suitcases and you only photograph green suitcases, he'll get paid just to do the voiceover. That's the way his mind works. I said, fuck. Then I called Francis Ford Coppola. He said, he's brilliant. He's got a brilliant mind, but he loves to talk. Just keep him talking and he'll talk himself out of any problem. So I go to California and I meet Marlon fucking Brando at his house on Mulholland Drive. He said, quote, why don't I play this like a bagel? I was ready for him to say a green suitcase, and he said, bagel. He said, how do we know what the people on Krypton looked like? He had good logic. He said, maybe they looked like bagels up there in those days. I said, geez, Marlon, let me tell you something. He just told us a story about a kid and how smart he was. And I said, it's 1939. There isn't a kid in the world who doesn't know what Jor-El looks like, and he looks like Marlon Brando.
Oh!
And he smiled at me and said, I talk too much, don't I? And then he said, okay, show me the wardrobe.
Ah!
And the wardrobe that... You know what Jor-El looks like in Superman, the movie, right? With the glowing outfit?
Yeah.
It was so sensitive that you couldn't touch it with human hands. You had to wear gloves to touch Jor-El's clothes because touching it would ruin the material and it wouldn't be reflective anymore. Human oils would just completely ruin the effect.
The cream cheese is cum.
It's cum. Yeah, and yes, Coppola does know. Jeepers Creepers, does Coppola know a thing or two about talking out of a problem? Well, let's see who won our game of Superman trivia. Who do you think it is?
I think it was...
In third place, it's none other than Jimmy Olsen Walk Run with 2,272 points. In second, it's the last son of a Krypton with 4,625 points. And your winner is Red Sun with 7,304 points. If you are Red Sun, tell us in the chat, because yes, exactly. You should have wagered. Absolutely. WizWorld Live is Red Sun because you got to go all out. You got to make the honorable thing if you want to win, especially if WizWorld Live is hot on your tail. You were scared. Fear is the mind killer. It's the little death that precedes total obliteration.
Wiz won last week with Gnomes,
That's
and
true.
before that won Twin Peaks.
But this time Wiz won without playing the refs. So congratulations, WizWorld Live, for winning honorably and outright this week on Grand Trivia.
Right.
And let's make a planet feel the little fear.
Amazing.
Was Krypton. We just made a brand new Superman.
We did.
And be sure to join us this Friday for It's a Goddamn World of Dolls with Emily Pineapple.
It's a goddamn world
at
of
4
dolls.
p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Who knows who will join us?
And be sure to join us again next week right here on Grand Trivia for Dragon Trivia.
Ooh!
Seen here is my photo with Shenron, the dragon from Dragon Ball Z, and Dragonite, and Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. So Dragon Trivia next week on Grand Trivia. We will see you then. Why? Because I have supervision. I hate that trivia whiz. I don't like fornication by proxy.
Here he comes. Swimming closer than farther away.